in support of our brothers and sisters in Iran that do not enjoy the religious liberty and freedom of expression we take for granted. Right now, as we sit here today, there are members of our faith suffering in prison in Iran for no other reason than their membership in the Baha'i faith. Today we take a few moments of our lives to pray for those individuals in prison. Pray for their family and friends. And demand that these individuals receive their God-given rights of religious expression and human dignity.
O my God, verily I invoke thee and supplicate before thy threshold, asking thee that all thy mercies may descend upon these souls. Specialize for them thy favor and thy truth. O Lord, unite and bind together the hearts, join in all accord the souls, and exhilarate the spirits through the signs of thy sanctity and oneness. O Lord, make these faces radiant to the light of thy oneness. Strengthen the loins of thy servants in the service of thy kingdom.
The Baha'i community of Scottsdale has enjoyed a very warm relationship with the City of Scottsdale Mayor's Office and Town Council for many years. Just recently, a small group of Baha'is, including myself, Don Streets, Ernie and Barbara Bruce, had the pleasure of meeting with the City of Scottsdale Mayor Jim Lane. The Baha'i community is extremely grateful that when we invited the mayor to attend this event in support of our fellow Baha'is in Iran, he immediately and enthusiastically agreed to come and support the Scottsdale Baha'i community.
Don and Kevin and Ernie and Barbara shared their concerns that members of the Baha'i community in Iran have been in prison for a considerable length of time, solely due to the fact that their religious beliefs in the Baha'i faith. And moreover, that 7 members had been incarcerated for over a year. And I informed Kevin, Don, Ernie, and Barbara that, as is amply affirmed by the values of the Scottsdale community and our nation, I unequivocally support the ideas of religious and individual freedoms and deplore the fact that the Baha'i brothers and sisters are experiencing such injustice. Let's hope that the vision for all of humanity is shared in the common values of our community, state, and nation will soon be enjoyed by all. To the Scottsdale Baha'i community, I stand with you against tyranny and injustice and pray that your Baha'i brothers and sisters will be set free to be with their loved ones and to practice their faith freely.
I believe that God sends His divine light, His spiritual guidance, out of love for mankind where that light is needed the most. And in the mid-19th century, that was Iran. Consider, for example, the records of an Austrian, a European officer, who witnessed some of the savage cruelty a century and a half ago in Iran. He wrote, he saw, quote, gouged out eyes, people who must eat without any sauce, on the scene of the deed, their own amputated ears, or whose teeth are torn out with inhuman violence by the hand of the executioner, whose skulls are simply crushed by the blows from a hammer, or where the bazaar is illuminated with unhappy victims because on the right and the left people dig deep holes in their breasts and shoulders and insert burning wicks in the wounds. Somewhere between 20 and 30,000 Baha'is were martyred for refusal to recant their faith, the simple beliefs 165 years ago that mankind is one and that all the faiths come from God. That was the reason for the execution. However, it can be said today that those reasons are deeper. There's more to it than just religious bigotry. Much more to it. And we have to be frank and not naive about this. Why does Iran torture and persecute members of the Baha'i faith? A faith that is so well respected and indeed beloved around the world. A faith that attracts people from many, many different backgrounds. Jewish, Catholic, Protestant. There is one other dimension here that must be said. Because the Baha'i faith is not a political movement. It's not a philosophy. It's not an ideology. It is basically a spiritual faith. And as the history of religion tells us, there's something mystical about the suffering of mankind. Something mystical and powerful about the shedding of blood when it's done for the sake of God. It is part and parcel of a painful process of the coming of age of humanity and the birth of a new world era. There is a twofold process occurring in the world. The tearing down of all those forces of ignorance, bigotry, however painful. And at the same time, the world is coming together. And these two processes are accelerating. Everything that stands in the way of world unity is falling away, while all the forces of communication and industry, of economics and education, and the like, that are bringing the world together are getting stronger and stronger.
I am Afif Nurani.
My name is Bahá'í
My name is Mahbash Sabat.
My name is Jamaluddin Khanjani.
I'm Kariba Kamalabadi.
My name is Saeed Rizoi. My name is Behruz Tawakkul.
And thank you again very much for inviting me. I have to say that your fight is really all of our fight with regard to religious freedom and freedom of the individual. So I can't tell you, I don't know who would depart from that with you, but at the same time, I stand with you. Thank you very much.